Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the Super Saiyan Gotenks S.H.Figuarts. Now this is the first and only time as of recording that they've done an S.H.Figuarts Gotenks, and it's a really weird release. There's some good about it. In my opinion, there's a lot of bad about it, or more so, a lot of missed opportunities, and we will be getting into that shortly. So, taken out of the box, here's what Gotenks comes with, and it's a pretty good loadout of accessories. So we get the figure itself, we've got 3 faces, we've got a Super Kamikaze Ghost, we've got a stand, as well as a Galactic Donuts effect pot. So, fairly decent looking loadout. If anything, could use more expressions, but the major things that I think are missing from this is a normal state head sculpt, because I think that the normal hairstyle of Gotenks is more iconic than the Super Saiyan 1 or 2 sort of variant. It's the black and purple of Goten and Trunks' hair. I think that that's a really, really iconic look for Gotenks and really integral to his design, as well as a Super Saiyan 3 head and hair sculpt, because that is probably the most iconic look for Gotenks. Whenever I think of the character, I think of, this little body with Super Saiyan 3 hair that is literally the size of his body. That is more iconic to me whenever I think of this character, not just this middle state that doesn't last that long in the fight and isn't visually that impressive. The normal state one is interesting because it's the fusion of their hair colors, and level 3 is more interesting because there weren't a lot of level 3 Super Saiyans at that time, and its design was way different, and the hair, covered pretty much the entire body in terms of height, so it led itself to a really iconic design. So I feel like that was a massive missed opportunity, and it's a shame that we haven't revisited Gotenks since for the S.H.Figuarts line. Hopefully at some point we will be revisiting the Buu Saga and they'll rectify this, but as it stands, it's a little bit of a shame that this is the only representation of this character. But taken out of the box and put on a display here is Gotenks, and he's really, really interesting because initially I thought he was using the same body sculpt as the first Kid Goku and Namek Saga, Saiyan Saga, Gohan, and Kid Krillin, but it is more so just a 2.0 body shrunk down. So it's got all the articulation that you think it should have, as well as the body proportions that you think it should have. I do think that he is still a touch taller than he needs to be, but it was the engineering of the time, and by himself he looks pretty good, especially if he's in action poses and things like that. They were trying something new, and the engineering hadn't caught up at that point. If they did it again now, I'm sure they could knock it out of the park, which is all the more reason why I think they should revisit the entire Buu Saga. Or at least a vast majority of the Buu Saga. Now, for posability, he's got a ball joint in the head and neck, nothing too crazy. He's got a floating piece on his shoulders, arms can rotate all the way around, upper arm swivel, bend at the elbows, ball joint at the wrist. The arm articulation, it's so, nothing too crazy. You do get a little bit of butterfly. There's a crunch at the chest, as well as a ball joint in the waist. He's got a sash that can move. He can kick forward and back that far and do the splits, not very much. Upper thigh swivel, double bend at the knees, pivot at the ankles, and hinge at the toes. Fairly standard 2.0 articulation, just a little bit limited here or there, like the double bend at the arms, not the best, and leg articulation around the ankles in particular, nothing too crazy there, but it's serviceable. Now, like I said, for scaling, here he is next to the 3.0 Super Saiyan Goku, so you can see he's sort of a head shorter than him, whereas I think Gotenks should be a little bit shorter still, because Goten and Trunks were, pretty young during the Buu Saga, and, were quite small, especially when they were, in the tournament, and, stacked on top of each other to, fight with the adults in that sort of, fake fusion adult form. He was still, relatively small, so I think that, with modern engineering, you can probably get a more accurate Gotenks / Goten Trunks at this point in time. Now, for faces, we get a smirking face out of the box, looks quite nice. We get a mouth open shouting face, as well as a comedic shocked face. I do think that there are some missed opportunities for the faces, in particular like a victory cannon type thing, but again, that would have worked better if we had a Super Saiyan 3 head. Or just generally a more serious actiony face, maybe at least one of those would have been nice. I know Gotenks is very playful, and his entire battle with Super Buu was very playful and goofy, but you can still have, you know, a little bit of seriousness. At least it would have helped, in my opinion. But with his faces and accessories, you can get the figure into some pretty good poses. The Galactic Donuts works fairly well. It's just one of the standard Tamashii bases with an extended piece that just holds a bit of plastic. Nothing too crazy. It's nice that it's there, but it's not the most necessary accessory out there. I'd say the more important one is the Kamikaze Ghost. And this is well detailed, painted and everything like that. I do like the mix between like clear and opaque plastic. Gives it a really nice feel, and it's just very well detailed. It would have been cool, like it is, again, stretching, but it would have been cool to have two ghosts, one like this in a sort of more standard pose, and one sort of mid-flight as like an effect sort of thing, and then you could have, you know, two on display as well, or you can use it for more action poses and stuff like that. I think that would have been nicer instead of Galactic Donuts, or at least Galactic Donuts done in the way that it was. I just think it's a so-so accessory, and it would have been cooler if they put that budget, you know, further into the ghosts, because that is like a super unique ability that no other character has. But yeah, he's a pretty decent figure, nothing too crazy. I do think, again, massive missed opportunity for the aesthetic of, you know, choosing Super Saiyan over the base state or level 3, but again, hopefully that will be rectified at some point. But as it stands, it's a fine figure, just a little bit of a shame that it's the only Gotenks representation we have for this line. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you all next time. Oh hi, I didn't see you there. As you can see, I'm hard at work making new videos for the channel. Now, while I'm happy with where the channel is right now, I could use your help. By liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel, it helps out the YouTube algorithm and recommends my channel to more people. So if you like any of my videos, please let me know, it really helps out. And if you liked this one, please let me know too. It means a lot to me, and I really, really appreciate all of you guys.